This week in our collective heads, wanna put an old rumor to bed. Stereotype that you've all heard, how we're all just angry video game nerds. Most of us have actual jobs, kids and families and cats and dogs, yeah. This week in our collective heads, this week in our collective heads.
Welcome to This Week in Our Collective Heads. I'm Patrick.
I'm Christian.
And,
wait,
not Patrick. But this is Patrick's spot, so it's kind of weird. Like, it's odd how even just a little shift in physical position can seem.
And it's funny because you said I'm Patrick, and I didn't even blink. I was just like, yeah, that's Patrick.
Yeah, that's who I'm here with.
That's right.
So, welcome to This Week in Our Collective Heads. We are here with the news, as we are every Sunday at 10 o'clock in the morning, or YouTube. Go ahead and shut the sound down on that. So we're here every morning on Twitch when it's a Sunday. Not every morning, because we have jobs and things to do. But yeah, and then you can watch us later on YouTube, which you might be doing. You might hear us on SoundCloud. We're in a lot of places. Mm-hmm. And so today we have the news. And this was a heck of a week for news. We had the Nintendo Switch reveal. We're not allowed to call it the NX anymore. We might set up like an NX jar. It's kind of like the swear jar from Luke Cage.
Oh yeah.
Every time you refer to it as NX, you have to put in some money.
Yeah, and then hopefully there's no shootout. So that'd be great. That'd be fine. I would appreciate that.
Yeah, that's
writers of our lives. Please don't follow the Luke Cage storyline.
Indeed. So yeah, we're mostly going to talk about the Switch on the topic of the episode show at the end. But that is a huge reveal. Mm-hmm. And so just kind of initial thoughts on the reveal, their decision to wait as long as they did. Mm-hmm. We're now 5 months out from the official announced, this is when we're putting it out. We've been questioning them for a while.
Yeah.
Do you think it was a good decision to wait this long? Was the hype continuing to build? What do they do from here?
Well, from what I gathered from the NX reveal and from like comments and stuff that we saw online, it seems like people are mostly excited about what the NX is. And I think it was, I don't know if waiting to tell us would have really helped, or saying earlier what the NX actually was would have helped much. I mean, Nintendo has kind of buried themselves for so long that we've kind of expected for news to be, very controlled and reserved until they have something like really exciting to present. Yeah. And again, they didn't reveal a whole. They didn't do like a normal full console presentation. It was just a single video with like
commercial but the way that they did the video was really cool because it seems like every shot is kind of establishing a way that you could play it, a scenario in which you could do it, a configuration for the controllers, of which there are 700, I think. Approximately. Yeah.
Not to mention all of the theories that they might have like custom controller attachments for like certain games so that you could play them like uniquely. Like they were, I saw like a concept design for like a Pokemon Snap attachment that was actually had like a clicky thing for like an old style camera. It was great.
Oh, Nintendo and your peripherals.
I know.
Yeah. Okay, so that was a reveal. If you've been on the internet, I'm sure you've heard that. But yeah, we'll be covering that at the end of the topic of the episode show, where we'll basically discuss now that we know the vague details of what's going on, what does Nintendo need to do in order to sell us on this next console, to convince us that it's not, a continuation of the Wii line, because the Wii happened, the Wii U happened, terrible launch, and the console didn't do that well. Mm-hmm. But the Switch seems like a pivot in their position where they're looking to do something else. And honestly, the Pro Controller, I have to get that. I mean, because I don't want to play with little.
That's your safety net just in case that the cool controller that they've made isn't as cool as they want you to believe.
Well, the other thing is that makes it a lot easier for other developers to put their games onto this system, because it has the two analog sticks and the same number of buttons in roughly the same configuration. So porting games to this system will be easier than they were for other systems.
Yeah, like you don't necessarily need to design the whole layout for the current like the NX Switch controller.
Right.
Thing.
When the Wii U came out, they had a lot of here's a game that you could have played quite a while ago, but it's got new features.
That's right.
Like the Arkham... There's Arkham City and...
it was Arkham City? Is that the one that was released on the Wii U, or is it Night that was released on Wii U?
No, it wasn't Night.
No, it was Night? Okay.
Night wasn't out yet.
Okay.
Because Night was just last year.
Yeah.
And the Wii U's been out longer than the...
Yeah, I just wasn't sure when this Batman game came out for the Wii U.
Been a minute.
Yeah.
Heck, it might have been Asylum. How long ago was that?
It couldn't have been that long. They wouldn't have released Asylum. Asylum is not the most popular of the Arkham games.
Right, but if it was the only one, it would have been the most popular one. Anyway,
well, Asylum came out like back in the PS3 era.
But anyway, they did a kind of a redone version of that, and they had like special touchpad features for people that are interested in that. But if you wanted to play that game, you'd probably already played it.
Yeah.
So having a pro controller where it's just like, hey, here's the games that you want to play if you want to play them, like the new Skyrim and the NBA Jam. Like, you're not gonna have to learn NBA Jam. That'd be cool. Bring NBA Jam to the Switch. I will buy it. Okay. So the other big reveal this week was Red Dead Redemption 2, and so we have some details on that. Red Dead Redemption 2 is coming out next fall, so roughly a year from now. And I actually haven't played the first one.
Fun fact, I haven't played either two of the Red Dead games.
Yeah.
Red Dead Revolver, which most people don't know exists.
Right. So but the fact that they chose to, because like my presumption was that it would be some version of Red Dead 3 or Red Dead something.
Yeah.
That started with an R. Retribution.
Yeah, Red Dead Retribution would have been really cool. That's what I thought it would be.
Revolution.
It
could have been, because based on where they stopped the other one, you could have been dealing with... That was after the Civil War, but it was before some of the contentious points with when we started fighting with Mexico. Sorry, history nerd stuff. You're here for video games.
Yeah.
But and this is a hypothetical game that they're not doing that.
Nope.
Probably.
Certainly not.
But the reveal was really fun. Last week we talked about it because they just had the big red picture with the big R on it.
Yep.
And that was all it was just this.
Lols. You trolls, you.
Yeah, and that was all the news we had, but Rockstar can do that. And then, the next day they put out a picture, and then the next day they put out the trailer. And it was just a fun reveal. I like the way that they did it. And I also like the fact that we don't know anything about the story. The trailer is just kind of, hey, we're in the Old West. There's dust everywhere. Watch your step, cowboy.
Although we have seen a little bit, I think we can glean from the poster of the silhouettes on the horizon. I've seen a lot of people.
There's been a lot of theories.
Yes,
but it's not telling, like, it's not the setting, it's not the story.
Yeah, nothing can.
We don't know anything about that. One of the fun things that I'm kind of interested in discussing is, do you think these are the protagonists or antagonists?
I'd imagine they'd be protagonists if. I mean, that is an interesting question.
Thank you.
I could certainly see them being the protagonists, especially given the news about the was it his web address, or was it just like a copyright title for Red Dead Online?
Right. They've registered Red Dead Online, and they have confirmed that that's going to be an element of the game.
Okay, yeah. I've seen people talking about how the fact that they're advertising like a posse of people rather than just a single individual character that you play as might hint towards some of the online elements, that these might be like a range of protagonists you could play as
your
in the online.
posse.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can see that. There's also a possibility that they'll do a super exaggerated version of what they did in GTA 5. And where you can switch between different stories and pick your favorite characters and go through their stories and get kind of a wider sense of what this world is about.
Yeah, especially if the GTA 5 online component was the inspiration for the Red Dead Online component that it looks like is happening, then they could certainly be taking other elements that they learned that worked well from GTA 5 and apply them to Red Dead 3 as well.
Could be.
Yeah, could be.
But basically the long and short of it is we don't know. But we're excited about it anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah. The next thing we have on the docket, as it were, actually we do. There's a little bit more about Red Dead 2, Red Dead Redemption, RDR2.
Yes.
RDR2 is going to have some exclusive content for the PlayStation. I'm not excited.
Well, it was timed exclusive, right? Like first 6 months, PlayStation gets it, and then Xbox gets it.
Probably, but
I believe that's what the article.
Right, but the article that I read anyway was, which is the same one that I linked to you. So
exactly,
it's probably the same one you.
And I just read mine last night. Yeah.
Right, was the then it comes to Xbox is not confirmed. That's just the way that they figure it'll probably work.
Oh, okay.
But for myself, I'm not a fan of this. If the publisher or Sony or Microsoft wants to pay to keep a series going, like Square Enix was originally not happy with the sales for Tomb Raider, and Microsoft actually put money forward to get us Rise of the Tomb Raider, and so that became a year exclusive. Okay, cool. You're actually helping to develop the game and to further it. In this case, Rockstar did not come to anybody asking for money so that they could afford this thing that they've probably been working on for 6 years as is.
Yeah, and which their budget is no small sum.
Yeah. So basically, they... My apologies. Sony is not rescuing the publisher here. They are just saying, we want to have this exclusive, and they are essentially taking away something from Xbox people rather than giving something to PlayStation and then allowing it to proliferate onto other platforms. I don't like it. I want them to spend their money to make their product better, not to make somebody else's product worse.
I mean, I'm sort of okay with timed exclusive sort of things. I'm not a big fan of like timed exclusive games. Like this console gets this game for a year or even just half a year before everyone else gets it. But in terms of like exclusive content, I've never been a big fan of DLC that seem, the kind of stuff that you kind of add on top of a game. With the exclusion of like straight up expansions.
Yeah.
But exclusive DLC has never been a deal breaker for me. And I think for most people, as long as they're getting the game on the same date, I think most people are okay. It's just it's fueling console wars, but at the same time, like if you're buying a console at the same time you're thinking of getting Red Dead Redemption 2 and you're wondering whether you would want to get an Xbox or PlayStation 4, this timed exclusive thing might be the deal breaker, which is good for Sony. But I think for most fans of Red Dead Redemption 2, they're getting the game with whatever console they're getting. They'll have to wait a bit longer for the exclusive content, but I don't think it's going to hurt them quite as much as they might say when they hear this news and they hear, I'm not getting something that the other people are getting, why am I not?
Well, and it's not going to... Another perspective is there aren't going to be like big story spoilers that come out as a result of one getting this little piece of content. Because Destiny is another one that PlayStation has the big exclusive and they get to keep stuff for a year, and stuff only slowly rolls out on Xbox. And a lot of the fun of that game is figuring out how to do the raids, because the raids are freaking hard and complicated, and props to anybody that figures those out. But if you want to play Destiny, you need to be playing on PlayStation, and that kind of sucks. But this is a single player. We're doing this, and then this little bit is cordoned off. Okay, I can see that. Yeah. I am now slightly less angry.
Yeah, it's just capitalism. Vote with your wallet if you don't like it. Otherwise, just kind of roll with the punches.
All right. So that was what we have for those two really big bits of news, and there's more information out there if you want to go find it. So as far as Xbox backwards compatibility, which is another thing that we're huge fans of, the Orange Box is now on backwards compatibility. You can play Portal 2 and Half-Life 2 on your Xbox One.
Was Portal 2 and Orange Box was released way before Portal 2.
Okay, so it's Portal.
It's Portal, everything from Half-Life 2, except maybe the last part, Episode 2. I don't know if they actually included Episode 2 of Half-Life 2 in the Orange Box, but yeah, it's... Okay. And Team Fortress 2 is now free to play, so don't care about that. Although I think you probably need Orange Box to play Team Fortress 2 on console. I don't think there's a an online marketplace where you can download Team Fortress 2 on your console.
I didn't think that Team Fortress 2 ever came to console.
Didn't it? No.
We don't have information.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think the PC release of Orange Box came with TF2, and then now TF2 is free, so you don't need Orange Box to get on PC.
Well,
but you could never get it on console.
Fact-checking squad.
That's right, fact-checking. This is NPR during all 3 of these debates.
Right.
Live fact-checkers, go. Mm-hmm. Where is Tamara Keith when you need her? I don't know if she's actually a fact-checker. That's just the only name I remember from NPR. Orange Box.
All right, so Meet the Sniper, Team Fortress 2 HD.
And this is on console.
Episode 2 demo, at least on 360.
And these are all trailers for the characters from Team Fortress.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Oh, Meet the Sniper, that's only a video. So yeah, I don't think Team Fortress 2 is released on console, otherwise I think I would have heard of it by now. Because there was...
Okay.
Yeah.
They do have Half-Life... Okay, so it's Half-Life 2, Episode 1.
Yeah.
Team Fortress 2, Portal, and Half-Life 2, Episode 2.
Okay. So they do have Team Fortress 2. Why have I not heard of a single person ever playing Team Fortress 2 on console?
They're busy. Now they're all playing Overwatch.
Yeah. I'm thinking we're getting Overwatch. That sounds like a little fun game.
I don't even play first-person shooters. I'm playing it.
Yeah.
I had Cameron buy it for me after
You had Cameron buy it for you?
Yeah.
I'm not going to invest my money in an FPS, but if Cameron wants to buy it for me.
No, it was a birthday present.
Okay.
So it wasn't quite that bad. But yeah, they had the free weekend on console, and I was like, I'll play things for free.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I downloaded it, and it was the full game, and I got to play it for the weekend, and I was like, okay, yeah, I like this.
Yeah.
Because I'm not good at shooting things, but I can lob a handful of grenades at anybody.
Yeah. And I really love it's a simple idea, but it's really hard to execute, of having like a full roster of characters they all operate. They don't just have like special abilities within like a similar framework. They operate within the game space on completely different levels for most of those characters.
You've got characters that can basically fly for like 8 out of 10 seconds.
8 out of 10 seconds. You gotta go 10 out of 10.
Well, there's a 10-second refresh, and you can stay up until there's about 2 seconds left in your refresh.
Okay,
so you have to touch the ground
slowly and then hopping.
Well, you've got an initial like rocket up into the sky, and then you have a fuel meter that you can kind of balance and hover.
Okay.
And then you
All right.
come back down.
Okay.
And then about the time you hit the ground, you'll have about 2 seconds left, and then you can.
Okay, you heard.
And you're launching rockets everywhere.
Yeah, the Mercy and the Symmetra Pro plays. You hear them right here. This is how you pro.
Yeah, that's fair.
What? Isn't Symmetra? Isn't she flying?
I don't know. Nobody likes her. Everybody yells at me when I pick Symmetra.
Because
I pick somebody else.
I think Symmetra flies and like rains death from the sky, and then Mercy.
That is absolutely fair.
Oh, okay. Well,
with the line "Death rains from above," like that's what she yells.
Gotcha.
So
all right.
So yeah,
haven't actually played Overwatch yet. I know. Yeah.
I would recommend it. I like it.
Okay. Yeah. I'll definitely be picking up pretty soon, I think. Yeah.
Cool. So, what are we talking about?
We
Orange
were
Box.
talking about Orange Box.
Right. And then we got distracted. The second game coming to backwards compatibility is Joe Danger 2, which is the little stunt thing where you're on a bike and on a cart and going through all these
same
these
guys
courses.
who made No Man's Sky, right? Or at least the Joe Danger 1 was made by the same people.
No, it's
the same people as well?
Yeah.
Okay, this is backwards compatible Joe Danger 2.
Right.
Yeah, so they made this a while ago.
And then the last one is Galaga Legions. And could you please, either in a truthful or farcical manner, tell me the difference between Galaga and Galaga Legions?
Galaga Legions, you're not playing as simply one ship fighting like an armada of alien spaceships. You were playing as a legion. It's sort of like Civilization.
All right.
In space, exclusively in space.
Naturally.
And you're moving your units across tiles, and you're trying to make sure that your base is not eaten, like in the original Galaga game.
Right. So do you get to choose from your favorite historical space hero?
Absolutely. What?
Like Civilization, you get to choose from like Gandhi or Churchill or whoever, and like you can
all of those classic space heroes. What's Churchill and Gandhi? Those space heroes.
That's Civilization. I'm asking if they use the same mechanic in Galaga, and you get to do that.
Yes, but you're not using historical figures. You're using iconic characters from other arcade games.
Oh, Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Like you can play as the tank with the little remote control where you stick your head in there and you could like the
Right.
wire space.
Naturally.
Yeah. Or you can play as Pac-Man. I control a legion of little
I
Pac-Men.
did not even know that was in space.
Yeah. Well, they don't have to be in-space arcade games. You could play characters from any arcade games. They have the entire roster of Street Fighter
okay.
in Galaga Legions that you could play as. Just a legion of Ryus just in space and punching alien spaceships.
I love the idea of like an ultimate attack where you have like a row of Ryus at the bottom and they all just throw this Hadouken up and they take out the first row.
That is the ultimate move. That's like when you have all of the points, you spend all the
Awesome.
points, that's your big nuke option.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is Galaga Legions, the game coming from Xbox 360 to Xbox One that we have just made up.
And that's canon. Well, we didn't just
It's
make it up.
TWIOCH canon.
There we go.
TWIOCH canon. There you
TWIOCH
go.
official.
All right. So the next item is nothing to do with space.
Unfortunately not.
Yeah. The Voice Actors Guild has started their strike. This isn't all of the, like, Nolan North and Troy Baker and, what's her name? The
Harley Quinn, voice actress all the time, does a whole bunch of other stuff.
Tara Strong.
Tara Strong, yes. And Jennifer Hale was included in this as well. Or she commented at
Jennifer
least.
Hale is.
Okay.
The three I mentioned are not.
Oh, those ones
They're
are not.
Right,
Gotcha.
they're not part of the guild. They're.
Oh, okay.
I think they're the voice actor overlords.
That would be. I wouldn't argue that at all.
They're in almost everything. Like, but yeah, so the strike has started. Most of this, and we reported on this because they began negotiations and had a potential strike right around the time that we started this show. And one of the more egregious things that they're talking about that they would like to have fixed is overly strenuous voice acting sessions needing to be limited to a certain amount of time, because like if you're recording dialogue between two characters, you can do that for 4 or 6 hours at a time. If you're recording various sounds of a soldier getting his leg chopped off or getting shot in the arm, and you're doing yelling and screaming and all these kind of things, that should be a shorter session.
Yeah. If this recording goes longer than 2 hours, it's going to be bad on my voice. I can't imagine if we were screaming more than we usually are.
Exactly. We are screaming at about a regular level.
Yeah,
right now.
Very moderate scream.
Right.
Yeah.
Only occasionally. So yeah, the demands that they're making are as reasonable as they were a year ago when they first brought them up. I don't know exactly how union negotiations go, but it seems like they take an interminable length of time, and I don't know how you have an active discussion and nothing happens for as long as it does.
Yeah. It's just people not willing to compromise given the demands, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not in these negotiations. I'm not a voice actor myself. I don't know what the general treatment of them is in voice acting, as the industry.
Right.
However, I'm not really swayed towards one side or the other necessarily in this argument. Obviously, if they felt strongly enough to strike, then it probably is. There are probably some legitimate concerns that need to be dealt with on the part of the video game publishers and the developers to treat their voice actors better.
Yeah.
However, I don't know necessarily if there's a morally right side to fall on this one. The video game industry has offered much better upfront pay.
Yes, and that was the reason. That was the caveat that kept this from happening last time. Was they increased the pay and they said we'll keep talking about the rest of that stuff, and that doesn't seem to have happened.
No. Yeah.
So, since we have a comment on the
on
the Twitch chat.
Hello, no sound still. Try unmuting the program. Got it.
Those
You won.
are Patrick from his absence. I just need the last one.
Hello, Superman Jesus. And
Yes.
Glado? Is that supposed to be GLaDOS reference?
Oh,
haha!
Yeah.
It is a GLaDOS reference.
So hi. I don't know how long that's been sitting there, but hi.
Hello.
I'm the Super Jesus.
Hello.
Irison? Superman is a metaphor for Jesus, so I think that's a pretty close comparison.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue that.
So yeah.
Alien Jesus.
In happier news, The Last Guardian has finally gone gold after a decade in development. So
My heart. Oh, my heart.
yeah.
It's happening.
It is. What's your level of excitement for Last Guardian?
Well, I do have like a lot of emotion tied up from like Shadow of the Colossus coming into Last Guardian.
Yeah.
I have heard some things from people who've played demos and stuff, behind closed doors, that kind of hurt me a little bit, that have me worried about how perhaps because of this game's severely stinted development cycle, that perhaps it's going to come out as a finished game, but it's not going to be as refined in terms of game mechanics. It's going to feel like a PlayStation 3 platformer game. Yeah. However, I mean, that's not going to stop me from at least trying it and giving it a good go. I mean, Shadow of the Colossus is still a good game. So if Last Guardian, even if it feels dated in terms of design, Shadow of the Colossus was dated in terms of its design, but it's still a great game to play. So.
Well, Shadow of the Colossus also influenced games that came out at the time. So it's possible that we'll see them doing things that we haven't seen as possibilities in platformers. Mm-hmm. One of the things, speaking of Shadow of the Colossus, I want somebody to be working on a version of Shadow of the Colossus for VR.
From first person, I assume?
No. Third person as is.
Okay.
But because a lot of a surprising number of the games that are coming out right now are in third person. Mm-hmm. I think that even from a third person perspective, because one of the greatest things about Shadow of the Colossus is the sense of scale, and how absolutely enormous and monstrous and powerful these creatures are. Yeah. They, like, at first they don't even really notice you. They just kind of go about their business and there's something wandering. Yeah, there's something running around, don't care. Yeah. I don't particularly notice ants until they start biting me. Yeah. And I
that last one, he's just mean. He's real mean. Real mean Colossus. Bad.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like that game would benefit from being able to, like, if you could, you have your character there and whatever, but if you can look up and up and up and see the Colossi in a completely isolated environment, I think that would be that in some ways would put me back to how I felt when I initially saw them. Like, I feel like we could capture that again. Yeah,
I agree, but I feel like it should be a new Shadow of the Colossus style game from first-person perspective, and you can have the two move controllers.
Grip.
Yeah,
grip,
exactly.
Grip,
You're actually
grip.
climbing.
Ooh.
You can be hanging off the edge and then look down and see the ground far below you.
Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing.
And then now you can't see the weak point on the Colossus like around, so you have to be climbing around looking for it on the ground, and then you're actually doing the stabbing while you're trying to hang on. Like, imagine that from first person. And like when you're looking through the camera in the PlayStation VR, when you're looking up, it's not the camera behind your character looking up at a Colossus like here from the camera view. The camera's now right here looking up at the Colossus. You're right at its feet. Yeah. First person would be fantastic. It would be a completely different game. Yeah. But you could do the same design concepts, just change the camera perspective, and suddenly you're not having to empathize with Wander was his name?
Wanderer, yeah.
Yeah, with Wander. You're actually like in his shoes. You are Wander. Yeah.
Well, the other thing about that is you fall sometimes.
Yeah? Oh boy. Yeah. Oh. Ooh.
Oh, the heart attacks.
And imagine the end of Shadow of the Colossus. No spoilers.
Yeah, we're not going to spoil it.
Yeah, but imagine the end part from the new camera perspective.
Jeez.
Yeah. Just literally, just blatantly rip off Shadow of the Colossus. Yeah. Just change the camera.
Somebody get on that.
Yeah. Great. I think I'm gonna get on that. I'm gonna learn some programming. I'm gonna learn some art design. I'm gonna get Unity and just start tapping away. Whoops. Sorry.
Okay. Well, we dampened it. Okay. So hopefully that wasn't too bad for you audio listeners. Yeah. Sorry about your headphones.
Hopefully the excitement is palpable and you're hearing it as I tap on the table.
Indeed.
Yes.
So we reviewed Dead Star however many months ago. It was one of the PlayStation Plus games. And it was like there was a tutorial section, and then they were like, here, go play competitive and blow up other people.
And now it's just the tutorial section.
And I was not really a fan of it. I didn't. I wanted a single player campaign. I wanted more explanation, a reason for doing what I was doing, and it just didn't have that.
Yeah.
And so they've reached a point. The studio has reached a point where the cost of keeping the servers up is no longer
Profitable.
working with the amount of sales that they're reaching, and yeah. So Dead Star is dead.
Dead Star's dead. The servers are shutting down. There is no more to the game except for the tutorial.
Right, and it's been removed. It's been removed from the storefront on Steam and PSN. So, rest in peace, Dead Star. Put in a story, and maybe I'll buy the next one. So, we're always sad to see, because like no matter how small the audience is, there is an audience for every online game, and there were people who loved this game and really enjoyed it, and I'm sorry for your stars and that they are gone.
Yeah. And this plays into a larger discussion about, the life cycle of games that rely on exclusively online components.
Yeah.
And that's just it's the really tragic part of living in an internet reliant society, is that we kind of take for granted the internet's going to be around. It's going to be around long enough. The server's going to be around long enough for the main audience to enjoy the game as it is.
Right.
But eventually there's going to be an audience that is hanging on, and they're just going to be left. And there's going to be no more online components. It's going to be dead. And that's really unfortunate.
There's somebody that bought it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And that sucks.
Yeah.
So it's I feel like the exclusively online game was something that kind of reached its pinnacle with like Evolve and Titanfall, which came out around the same time. And now a lot more companies are scaling back and going, you know what? We probably need a one-person experience in here where you can just play the thing.
Yeah.
And then online is, as I prefer, an add-on to that, a supplement, if you will. So, yeah.
We have another comment? All right, so hi. Hello, guys. Greetings from Germany by Nordlich Gaming, or Nordlich. Yeah.
Nordlich Gaming. Well, hi from America.
That's right. Hello. Guten Tag, is that correct?
Yes.
Is that offensive? No? Okay.
No,
let me know.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, let us know if we offend anyone.
Yeah.
All right. So, how good are you at Hearthstone?
I have not played Hearthstone.
At all?
No, I am a Magic the Gathering fan. There's no other card game for me. So that's that. That's the end of that discussion. We can move on to the next topic.
See, if Patrick were here, he would be able to tell you a lot more about this.
Yeah.
Hearthstone is introducing a gambling mode, which, as far as I can tell, is very similar to what they're doing with what they did with Sparkade.
Sure.
Have you seen that?
No.
Okay, so that's a thing that's out on iPhones now, and it's like Pac-Man, Tetris, etc. Asymmetrical gameplay, and you can bet on whether you're going to win.
On whether you're going to win.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like on whether you can play Tetris better than the other person.
Yeah.
And Hearthstone is a lot more, right up against each other.
Was right.
Yay, Guten Tag. We got that one.
Yeah.
So, danke. And so yeah, I'm not that good at Hearthstone. But I'm interested in how this goes. So with Hearthstone, they're basically you put in a $10 entry fee. And instead of having like a tournament style thing, it's more of a one-on-one. You're getting in kind of with arenas and stuff. And so I know that Patrick's really into Hearthstone. There's a guy that actually this is a good chance to promote a future project that I'm working on that I have not yet announced. Jake the Snake, or Snake Madness on Twitch, is doing a project where he's beating 30 games in 30 days.
Oh, that's a lot.
It is a lot of games.
Yeah.
And he's been slowly releasing about 5 at a time what games he's going to play. And I'm going to get to guest star on that project. We're beating Donkey Kong Country 2, beginning to end.
Oh, you're doing the co-op thing, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
And we're going to go through that entire game in one sitting.
Oh, One sitting.
One sitting, one stream.
All
We're gonna
right.
beat it.
All right. I applaud your ambition. Clap, clap, clap. I don't know if that game is actually like long or.
It's probably about 4.5 hours.
Okay. All right. Well.
So yeah, we'll see how that goes.
I don't know if he can afford 4 hours in 30 days though. That sounds like too much time to give to one game.
He's doing different lengths of games. Like one of them is Super Mario 3, which you can beat in, probably about 45 minutes to an hour.
Sure.
But yeah, he's aiming for about 4-hour streams.
4 hours. Okay.
Over 30 days. So
Okay,
yeah,
that works.
Snake Madness on Twitch. Hey Jake.
Hi, Jake.
And that's a thing that we're going to be doing before too long. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
And real quick before we move on from the Hearthstone gambling mode.
Yes.
The article that I read, it's the headline is a little bit misleading. It's not gambling like you're putting up, any amount of money you want for your success. It's literally just an entry fee. And if you go 3 games and you lose those, if you lose, I believe it was 2 games or 3 games, you're knocked out of the tournament.
Okay.
But basically, it goes 12 rounds, and they have a table for how much you get back, and you don't break even until you go all 12 wins. Because there's two different. Yeah, there's 2 different entry fees. There's $10 or 1,000 in-game gold. And you don't get real money back, you only get gold back, and you get dust, which is another currency that they use in Hearthstone. But it's 1,000 gold entry fee. You don't break 1,000 gold reward until you get 12 wins. It goes from 11 wins, it's like 450 or 480 gold return. And then if you go all 12 rounds, not losing a single game, you get 1,100. You have a 100 gold profit. If you go all 12 games winning. It's really.
I would hope you would get like a title or like some kind of like you get a star or a hammer by your name or like something cool, right?
Yeah, it seems really like it doesn't seem like it'd be worth the entry fee because and this is something that where my Magic history would play into when you play in even like a Friday night Magic tournament FNM. Usually it's like a $5 entry fee, which is the price of the pack.
Right.
And there's a lot of stores that will give you the pack for no wins, and then you'll get more packs the more wins you get. Right. There's some places where you need at least like 2 wins to start getting packs back, but you can get multiple packs at a time.
Yeah.
There is a much more conceivable that you are going to get a return on your investment if you can beat the competition around you.
You walk away with something.
Yeah, and it seems like from this Hearthstone tournament, it seems highly unlikely you will break even with the entry fee, so I can't imagine why most people would even want to get into this.
All right, so I don't know, maybe Patrick will come on after and he'll put out like his own YouTube rant because he didn't get to say anything right now. He can't say jack.
That's right.
Because he's not on the stream. Because he went away for family events.
Where are your priorities, Patrick?
Yeah.
Okay, this is your show. I shouldn't even be here. This is your show.
Wasn't even supposed to be here today.
I know. Oh boy. Oh no. Clerks, callbacks, deep cuts.
Yep. But yeah. Hi Patrick. Hope you come back and see us. All right. So there is a Super Nintendo satellite game. Of Zelda.
Speaking of space games.
Speaking of space games. Yes.
From a while ago.
And gambling and very few return on investments because the satellite system came out. It was only in Japan.
Oh yeah.
And there wasn't a lot of content for it because it ended up not being popular. But it was just really weird and bizarre. I encourage you to go research the Super Nintendo satellite system if you're not aware of that because it's a really weird time in gaming and you just So what they would do is they would broadcast out code that you would download to your system, and then you would get to play that week's section of the game or whatever.
Yeah, and then you record that session and your progress in the game on a cassette tape and save it for the next weekend when the next session of streaming was available. And it was only 4-hour streams. Like, you had to be home at the right time on the right day in order to play the Zelda game.
And get the connection, and It's
pretty wild.
Life before the internet was really weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, so somehow, and I don't know how, but they've managed to capture and download, compile and translate the Super Nintendo. Basically, it looks like Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past to me.
Yeah,
Like
and it said in the article, this is basically just a rehash of Link to the Past.
Yeah, and I am perfectly okay with that. That is my personal favorite Zelda.
Yeah, I really like Link to the Past.
So yeah, so that is a thing that's been translated, and I will be finding, because this is another situation where we TWIOCH heartily endorse piracy, because there is no legal way to do this.
Yeah. Anything you might say about piracy's legality and stuff. One thing it does very well is preserving old media that would normally just kind of fall by the wayside. Yeah.
And so this is a really cool deal that I will be putting on my computer and playing. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
All right. So we have actually, I'm going to bump this up from the wrap up, because the wrap up is where we just kind of go through real quick and just kind of say, here's some news, here's some more news, here's some more news. But because it's you.
Yes.
We're going to talk about the next Souls, the Souls 3 patch that is out now. Because I already have it on my PlayStation. And we're going to talk about that, and you talk briefly about that, and I'm going to look up. They released a bit that has like a little bit more details on Ashes of Undario.
Or Ariandel, or I think we said the exact same thing, spelling, just pronounced it differently.
Yeah.
Got it.
So anyway, so the poise stat has been adjusted in some way. So give me. You talk about that, and I'll look up the picture that I found earlier. Well,
here's the thing. If you're not a Souls player, let me give you the 411 on poise. So, the way poise has worked in previous Souls games is basically it is a stat that adjusts how easily staggered you are when you get hurt. So, for instance, someone comes and attack you, they will do X number of damage. If you have too little poise, that attack is going to make you recoil from being attacked. If you have a good amount of poise, and this is adjusted by your armor, I believe, and there might have been like a character stat you adjust, but the heavier armor you have normally would give you higher poise, so you can get hit, but it's not going to stop your character if he's in the middle of an attack. It's not going to stagger him. You can keep doing what you do. You just took some damage. In Dark Souls 3, they reworked how poise operated, and it does not operate in any way that most people can see is useful. They've tested wearing the absolute heaviest armor with the absolute maximum poise, and they go back to the beginning area of the game, and tiny little mobs with little broken daggers can still stagger you no matter how heavy your armor is. So there's been a big uproar about the way poise has worked. Now it's like a useless stat when normally it was key to gameplay, especially in the PvP component. And we were hoping with this patch, in the patch notes they mentioned that they were going to be bringing reform to poise stat and adjustments, and we were all hoping that this would bring old poise back. However, it seems that from people who have, even before the patch was out, there were Xbox users who woke up one day and had access to the DLC. It just downloaded their consoles, and they just got it like a week early. And reports from them have said, and I'm pretty sure people who've played with the patch already, it seemed like the poise stat has not been fixed. Something has been adjusted, and that's all we can say about it. It hasn't been fixed the way that we anticipated it to.
Yeah. So I've been hiding from the Dark Souls 3 community.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Por qué?
I don't want to know.
Don't want to know. Oh, you don't want to spoil it for
things.
DLCs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they did have a little bit, and I'm just going from memory from an image that I saw while scrolling through my feed and forgot to save. But it said that there's going to be 2 new bosses and the Ashes of
the area,
disputed pronunciation area.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be a new PvP arena where you can go 3-on-3.
Up to 3-on-3 or 6-man free for all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which actually, that sounds like a lot of fun, and
yes.
that sounds like more fun as a primarily Magic user.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Explain.
Because I have AoE stuff.
The
first thing I'm going to do is pound into the ground and have pillars of flame arise from all around me and pits of lava in every direction.
That does sound like it could be quite a blast.
Yeah. And that doesn't... That's not really that great if there's just one person, because one person goes,
B, or circle, dodge, I'm gone now.
Right.
Yeah.
But if I can get in the middle and nobody's paying attention to me, I could really mess some people up.
You certainly could.
Because like if I'm just running around and I'm like throwing little dinky my plan, and if you encounter me on Dark Souls 3, Yeah, is throwing little Farron darts that are doing like 7 damage or whatever.
Those Farron darts.
And they'll, yeah, and they'll be like, okay, that guy's he's annoying, but you're more of a threat. And then I can get in kind of in an area, and I can get close enough to where I can set this off, and then I'm gonna set this off.
What is this rinky-dinky little mage doing in the fray? Oh god, I'm on fire and in lava.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't expect to win, but that still seems like fun.
I don't know, if you could get that TVK with those... Was it the Pillars of Chaos? Is that what that spell is? Yeah. I want you to win a match knowing that you wasted a spell slot on Farron Dart just to throw people off. To make them think that, oh, he's running Farron Darts. He must not be a competitive player. He must have stumbled into this not knowing what he was doing. And little did they know, you didn't know what you were doing. But you had that Chaos Flame Pillars, and you're going to use it.
Yeah. I have 6 slots, 7 if I use a ring.
Okay, you got plenty of spells then.
So yeah.
Okay, yeah. You got it.
So I can do some weird stuff. And I think it'll be, like, if you're going up against one person, then there's only so many tricks that you can do. But if you can kind of mess with minds a lot more when there's more minds to be messed with.
That's right, all them sheeple on Dark Souls.
Right, because that's who plays Dark Souls.
Yes, only sheeple. I mean, they have to be sheeple in some way to, butt heads against the metaphysical wall of Dark Souls challenges over and over again, only on the promise that there will be a reward later.
Well, it's not even a reward. It's the personal accomplishment of I beat this thing. Like that's what I pull away from my Dark Souls experience.
Well, yeah, me too.
Is the accomplishment and knowing that I beat this thing that a lot of people say is too hard to be any fun.
That's right. Perhaps the people who quit, they're the real sheeple. Could be. We should get Alex Jones on this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we should. So, Alex, hit us up.
That's right. Oh, I don't want Alex Jones to hit us up. He's going to show up with a Bill Clinton T-shirt, and it's going to be bad. Do you know who Alex Jones is?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, you guys know. You guys know what I'm talking about. Should I explain it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. He's a. Have you heard like the weird theories about like the lizard people ruling us and theories?
Oh, okay.
And like last year when there was concern that someone saw a United Nations like care vehicle in Texas, and there was concern that United Nations is going to take over Texas.
Yeah.
That's Alex Jones. He is a conservative radio talk show host who peddles in conspiracy theories.
Okay.
Yes.
Better know who he's voting for. So yeah. So all right. So now we have the wrap up. So the first thing is PlayStation is introducing like officially sanctioned tournaments, and like there's a tournament mode that developers have access to now, which is kind of the same thing that Xbox did 3-6 months ago.
Sure.
They introduced the ability to put this out and put it there. We'll see what games get it. The Rocket League tournaments have been a lot of fun to watch because like actually when I started watching the tournaments is when I basically retired from the game because I'm like I'm
You saw how much higher there is to go in terms of Rocket League skill, and
Rocket League skills now. Nope, not gonna.
This is. I will never be there. It's time for me to throw in the towel.
But I had played long enough to understand where it's coming from, and I have dipped my toe back in for the weird mods and stuff. But
do they have mods on Xbox?
Yeah, it's just across every. There's a I forget what it's called, but it's well because it's running on the Unreal 4 engine. Yeah, and there's like you can do a tornado. You can do
what? Like what do you mean you can do a tornado? Please elaborate on what doing a tornado means in Rocket League.
You push a button and a tornado forms that anything that goes into it skyrockets to the ceiling. The ball, the cars, whatever. You can have like those those spring-loaded punching things. You can have that on the front of your car. You can have a magnet that attracts other cars and the balls to you.
Rocket League community, what have you been doing when you haven't been telling me about this stuff?
You should watch the show.
Oh, well, we know that too.
We talked about it.
I must have missed that episode, but.
But yeah, it is absolutely bonkers. And
my PS4 is getting dusted off. I am all over this now. This is what I'm doing now.
Yes, it's pretty fun to watch. That's the tournaments are still like no mutators, whatever. But
Of course.
the Bat Guano crazy mode is out there, and it's weird and fun and hilarious.
Oh god, that does sound like fun. Rocket League, you do you. You keep doing you.
Sonics is amazing, and what they've managed to do is love you guys.
Yeah.
All right, so there was a mod for GTA 5 that managed to take all the bombs and reskin them as Galaxy Note 7s. And Samsung got an injunction. They're like, hey, you YouTube, you can't play that. That's our property that's being parodied here. And they took it down. And then they put the people who were hosting the video was like, actually, people really like this, and it's parody. And YouTube went, oh yeah, that is pretty funny. It's back. Yeah. It's back up and running and still funny.
Good on you, Google, for allowing both a product that will explode and parody of the product that will explode under the same parent company, but two different divisions of that company.
Well, Samsung is just leasing Android, so
okay, well, sure, yeah.
Did you know that it's a felony now to bring a Galaxy Note 7 onto a plane?
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
a thing. That is the world in which we live.
Yeah, I mean, if you have like a mini bomb that blows up in your butt, I mean, they won't allow toothpaste in many airplanes. I'm sure they won't allow potentially exploding phones on a plane.
Yep. So, moving on from terrorism, let's talk about Rick and Morty.
Oh, well, this is on the terrorism thing.
What does Rick and Morty have to do with terrorism?
Have you heard the theories about what Rick is in jail for?
Oh, no, but I have heard the theories on who's going to get him out and the fact that we switched universes 2 episodes before the end.
Okay.
Have you heard that one? Okay, so...
I might have, but I didn't remember.
So if you don't watch Rick and Morty...
Stay
watch
watching.
Rick and Morty!
And keep watching.
And keep watching and watch Rick and Morty when you're done. Okay,
yes.
So you know the one where they drop off Jerry at the Jerry daycare.
Yes.
And at the very end he goes, "Hey, have you got ticket 2587 or whatever?" And they switch. The ticket that he says is the ticket that was at the beginning.
Okay.
So that family, the family that then walks off screen, is not the family we've been following. We switched universes, and we switched from C-137 Rick and Morty to a different universe. That's why Mr. Poopy Butthole shows up and is a character that we've never heard of that exists in that universe.
Okay.
Which means that Michael Karmbopoulos is still alive.
Okay.
Because they didn't kill him. Probably.
All right. Okay. I'll have to wrestle with these.
I'll send you that link. It's a really fun video that it's like 11 minutes of this thing and this thing and this means this.
Was this a film theory video? Because I think they did a video on Rick and Morty theory.
They did.
Yeah.
But,
and that was I think that was the one where they talked about what Rick might be in prison for.
Right. This is a different channel. And then coming back to video games, the HTC Vive. The Rick and Morty game is free, and it's out. And if you have a Vive, you can get that now. Now I'm hoping it comes to PlayStation VR because that's the one I'm probably gonna have the best chance of playing.
Yep.
Because you can't play it if you're under 12. I'm not gonna get one yet.
Oh, okay.
It's
Makes
because
sense.
eye development and such.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna wait. I'll probably get one on the next gen.
Yeah, I was thinking, but wait, Kevin, you're much older than 12, and I was like, oh yes,
I am quite a bit older than 12.
Yeah.
It is true.
Yeah, I mean,
Thank you for watching the This Week in Our Collective Heads contents you've just consumed. If you would like to consume more of our content and these things that we put out on the internet for fun, then like, subscribe, share with your friends, and reach out to us. Message us. Talk to us.
Everywhere. We're everywhere. We will respond to you. We're at TWIOCH on Facebook and Twitter and everywhere else except for Twitch. We're TWIOCH Gaming. But check us out. Talk to us. Let us know what you liked, what you didn't. And we may or may not change, but we will talk to you about it.
Absolutely. Thanks.